Whether you're an experienced driver or about to take your very first driving test, it's a good idea to brush up on the rules for driving on one-way streets. So let's take a look at that. One-way streets present their own unique challenges for drivers. Identifying if the street you're about to turn onto is a one-way or a two-way street is an important first step. One-way streets will be clearly marked with signs at the beginning of the one-way traffic section, and will also normally have signs posted along the way. Most commonly, you'll see a black and white sign that says one way with an arrow pointing in the direction you're supposed to travel. Or there might be a black and yellow sign indicating the same thing. One-way streets will have lanes separated by broken white lines. If you turn on a road and see dashed yellow lines between the lanes, you're on a regular two-lane road. You may also see signs showing that you're about to enter a section of divided highway, telling you that the road you're on is about to be divided into two separate one-way roads. Ignoring or failing to see these signs can lead to dangerous situations. So always make sure you're paying attention to posted signs and following the directions indicated on them. If you turn on a street and there are cars parked on both sides of the street pointed in the same direction, that's also a sign that you're on a one-way street. You'll also see signs telling you not to enter a road from the direction you're coming from, because if you did, then you'd be going the wrong way on a one-way street. Those signs will usually say one way, do not enter, or do not enter, wrong way. And what should you do if you accidentally go the wrong way on a one-way street? Well, first, immediately pull over to the side of the road and stop. Then turn on your headlights, if they're not already on, and your emergency flashers to make yourself easier to be seen by any oncoming traffic. If there's no traffic coming at you and you're very close to a side street, I mean really close, quickly drive to that street and get off the one-way road. If there is oncoming traffic and there are no close exits off the street, then wait until there's a break in traffic, make a U-turn, and then drive on the one-way road until you find a street to exit onto. This would be the only time it would be acceptable to make a U-turn on a one-way street. If you're traveling the correct direction on a one-way street, you cannot make a U-turn. Say, for instance, if you pass the road that you wanted to turn on. You should instead continue on the one-way street until you get to a side road or an exit and get off there in order to turn around. If you're driving on a one-way street and you see someone coming at you driving the wrong way, then again you should immediately pull over as far as you can to the side of the road to get out of their way. Then turn on your emergency flashers, flash your headlights, and honk your horn, so that hopefully this will make it easier for them to notice you and maybe realize they're going the wrong way. And in either case, whether it's you going the wrong way or someone else going the wrong way on a one-way street, if there's no room or no time for you to get over to the side of the road, at the very least, slow down, flash your lights, and honk your horn so that you can draw attention to the situation. When turning onto a one-way street and there's more than one lane on that street, turn into the closest lane you come to. After you've completed your turn, you may put on your turn signal again, check your mirrors and your blind spots, and when it's safe, change lanes if you need to. That's the law in my state, but this can vary from state to state. In my state, if you're taking your driver's test and you don't turn into the closest lane on the one-way street first, you'll have points taken off for that. Regardless of what your state's law is, it's safer to always turn into the closest lane first, especially if there's traffic approaching from both directions that can possibly turn onto the same one-way street. The exception would be where the road you're entering the one-way street from is very close to where you need to turn off of it. Then you really have no choice and no space to pull in the lane closest to you and then move over into your turning lane. In that case, you'd have to make your turn onto the one-way road and go directly into the lane you need to be in to make your turn. When you come to the end of a one-way street or where there's an intersection, pay attention to any pavement markings or signs that might be posted there saying which way you can or can't turn, and if the street you're turning onto is a one-way or a two-way street. At the end of this section of a one-way street, there are arrows on the pavement showing that you can only turn left from the left lane, but from the right lane, you can either go straight or turn right. You might also see signs saying no left turn or no right turn, so look for any posted signs or arrows on the pavement. And in general, if there are two lanes, use the right lane to turn right, and the left lane to turn left off of the street. In every state, turning left on a red light is illegal, but there are exceptions where it's permitted on one-way streets. At a traffic light, turning from a one-way street onto another one-way street is an instance where a left turn on red is allowed, provided it's safe to do so and there are no signs explicitly prohibiting the turn. After making a complete stop and yielding to traffic or pedestrians within the intersection, It's permissible for drivers on a one-way street to turn left at a red light onto another one-way street that moves traffic to the left. You can overtake and pass other traffic on either side when traveling on a two-lane, one-way street, as long as you're not exceeding the speed limit. Check all your mirrors and blind spots before you attempt to pass and go around another driver. And lastly, a traffic circle or a roundabout is another form of a one-way street. Traffic moves continuously around them. And in the United States, drivers must always keep moving to the right in a counterclockwise direction. Before entering a roundabout, yield to all traffic already in the circle. This includes both lanes of traffic in multi-lane roundabouts. Yield to pedestrians in any crosswalks before entering or exiting a roundabout. Before you enter the roundabout, choose your lane based on the signs that indicate which lane to take to your intended destination. Which lane do you need to be in to take your exit? Avoid changing lanes while driving in the roundabout. Use your turn signal when exiting the roundabout. Avoid stopping in the middle of the roundabout, which might cause other drivers to have to brake suddenly. Roundabouts are not common in most areas and are used much less frequently in the U.S. than in many other countries. So since we're not as used to them, we need to be very careful when we encounter one. I hope this video helps somebody. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and drive safe.